Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Wheel of Shakespeare. We've got. We're glad to have Elizabeth back. Well, she just let us know that she is still in Hawaii, but she's still able to join us, which is great. And we have a new participant, Sheila Spencer, that I met in the different group, the Eager Beaver Shakespeare. We do the Vincent's group that does the readings every other Sunday. Really glad to have you with us this time. And so unless anybody has anything to mention, we will, well, if I'm a little out of it, I'm a little tired. I've actually been on a film set all night. I had an all-night shoot as an extra, so a little tired. And we usually say, let's do 2 rounds. I think I'm going to say I'm usually the one that tries to see if people want to go a second round. I think we'll only do 1 round this time because I'm so tired from the all night film shoot. But with 6 people, which is more than we've ever had before, even 1 round, I'm sure we should be able to get a lot of good monologues and have a lot of fun with this one. So without further ado, I'll bring up the wheel to see who's going to go first. We had one person that joined us for the first time last week, John, and he emailed me yesterday to be put on the wheel, and which was great. But it looks like he's not here. But I'll take him off. Maybe he'll join us late, and I'll put Sheila on. Good. So that's yeah, that's all 6 of them.
It's Lia, Sheila.
Oh, is that correct?
Yes, eventually that's the only way you'll be able to pronounce it. It'll become second nature.
Okay, so that said, we will spin the wheel for the first monologue. The first monologue will be done by...
Okay.
Okay, so Bill will go first. Which wheel did you want?
I'll take the neutral.
Okay. So Bill will be performing Volumnia from Coriolanus, May Go Not From Us. Oh, that's a good
5-3.
Leading with his own not to destroy Rome, I believe is...
Is it the beginning of the speech?
Let me take a let me see.
Oh, I just found it. I just found it.
Found it?
It is the beginning of the speech, yes.
Okay, so let me take myself out of the stream. So Lumnia in Coriolanus, whenever you're ready, go for it.
Nay, go not from us thus. If it were so that our request did tend to save the Romans, thereby to destroy the Volsces, whom you serve, you might condemn us as poisonous of your honor. No, our suit is that you reconcile them, while the Volsces may say to this mercy we have showed the Romans, this we received, and each and either side give thee all hail to thee and cry, be blessed for making up this peace. Thou knowest, great son, the end of war is uncertain, but this certain, that if thou conquer Rome, the benefit which thou shalt thereby reap is such a name whose repetition will be dogged with curses, whose chronicle thus writ, the man was noble, but with his last attempt he wiped it out, destroyed his country, and his name remains to the ensuing age abhorred. Speak to me, son. Thou hast affected the fine strains of honor to imitate the graces of the gods, to tear with thunder the wide cheeks of the air, and yet to charge thy sulfur with a bolt that should but rive an oak. Why dost thou not speak? Thinkest thou it honorable for a noble man still to remember wrongs? Daughter, speak you. He cares not for your weeping. Speak thou, boy. Perhaps thy childishness will move him more than can our reasons. There's no man in the world more bound to his mother, yet here he lets me prate like one of the stocks. Thou hast never in thy life showed thy dear mother any courtesy. When she, poor hand, fond of no second brood, has clucked thee to the wars and safely home loaden with honor. Say my request's unjust and spurn me back. But if it be not so, thou art not honest, and the gods will plague thee, that thou restrainest from me the duty which to a mother's part belongs. He turns away. Down, ladies, let us shame him with our knees. To his surname, Coriolanus, longs more pride than pity to our prayers. Down, an end. This is the last. So we will home to Rome and die among our neighbors. Nay, beholds this boy that cannot tell what he would have, but kneels and holds up bands for fellowship, does reason our petition with more strength than thou hast to deny. Come, let us go. This fellow had a Volscian to his mother. His wife is in Coralie, and his child like him by chance. Yet give us our dispatch. I am hushed until our city be afire, and then I'll speak a little. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. So, back to the wheel. I've taken Bill off, the 5 of us remaining. Next will be okay, so it looks like I'm next. And I will stick the gender neutral over the wheel. So I will be performing oh boy. It was too solid flesh. Okay, give me a second to look that one up. Okay. Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. That the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fiant! Oh, fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this, but 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth must I remember. She would hang on him, as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month, not think on it. Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month, or ere those shoes were old, with which she followed my poor dead's body, like Niobe, all tears. Even she. Oh God, a beast that wants discourse of reason would have mourned longer. Married with my uncle, my father's brother, no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month, yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing of her galled eyes, she married. Most wicked speed to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come of good. Break my heart, for I must hold my tongue. Thank you, everybody. So appreciate that. Next, let's see. Gotta bring back the wheel.
Did you create this wheel, Mark?
Yeah, I did. I used a lot of suggestions when I researched online about what people suggested as some of the best monologues and so forth. And and on the link that I sent, you look in the description, you can see there's the link where you can actually go to the wheel. If there's anything that's not on it that you think should be, I'm totally open to suggestions. Okay, so the 4 people that haven't gone yet, next will be Sheila will be next.
Excellent.
And you have a choice of male. You can stick with this female wheel, a male wheel, or you can do the gender neutral one. Like
Gender neutral.
Okay.
I love surprises.
Yeah. More options. So Sheila, our new player, will be doing. I don't think anybody's done that one yet. So that's.
This is, let me see, Act 3, Scene 1. Is that it?
Yeah, Act 3, Scene 1, approximately 23 lines in.
Okay. And what is that? To bait a fish?
Yeah, I believe is what. Yeah, I think to bait a fish with all, I think is where that one starts. So if you found it, whenever you're ready, I'll take myself out of the stream. I can't talk when I'm out of it. So whenever you're ready.
To bait fish withal, if it will feed nothing else, it will feed my revenge. He hath disgraced me and hindered me 500,000, laughed at my losses, mocked at my gains, scorned my nation, thwarted my bargains, cooled my friends, heated mine enemies. And what is his reason? I'm a Jew. Hath not a Jew eyes? Hath not a Jew hands, organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions, fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer as a Christian is? If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? If we are like you and the rest, we will resemble you in that. If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? Revenge. If a Christian wrong a Jew, what should his sufferance be by Christian example? Why, revenge. The villainy you teach me I will execute, and it shall go hard, but I will better the instruction.
Oh dear. That's a scary ending.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, awesome for one that one of the most famous that nobody in this group has done yet, to my recollection.
Woohoo!
That was so. Okay, anyway, back to the wheel. The three people left are Elizabeth, Paul, and Maggie. Next will be okay. So Elizabeth will go, and preference. We sticking with gender neutral or
gender neutral, please? Yes.
Okay, Elizabeth's gonna do.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Wonderful.
Okay.
This is another great one that nobody's done yet.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Here. Have you found it?
I'm looking for it. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is so long. Okay.
Okay, so whenever you're ready.
All right. Methinks I am a prophet, new inspired, and thus expiring do foretell of him. His rash, fierce blaze of riot cannot last, for violent fires soon burn out themselves. Small showers last long, but sudden storms are short. He tires betimes that spurs too fast betimes, with eager feeding food doth choke the feeder. Light vanity, insatiate cormorant, consuming means soon preys upon itself. This royal throne of kings, this sceptered isle, this earth of majesty, this seat of Mars, this other Eden, demi-paradise, this fortress built by nature for herself against infection and the hand of war, this happy breed of men, this little world, this precious stone set in the silver sea, which serves it in the office of a wall, or as a moat defensive to a house against the envy of less happier lands, this blessed plot, this earth, this realm, this England, this nurse, this teeming womb of royal kings, feared by their breed and famous by their birth, renowned for their deeds as far from home, for Christian service and true chivalry, as in the sepulchre in stubborn Jewry of the world's ransom, blessed Mary's Son, this land of such dear souls, this dear, dear land, dear for her reputation throughout the world, is now leased out. I die pronouncing it, like to a tenement or pelting farm, England, bound in with the triumphant sea, whose rocky shore beats back the envious siege of watery Neptune, is now bound in with shame, with inky blots and rotten parchment bonds, that England, that was wont to conquer others, hath made a shameful conquest of itself. Ah, would the scandal vanish with my life? How happy then were my ensuing death.
Awesome. Okay, so the two that haven't gone yet, Paul and Maggie. Which one will go next? Will be okay, Maggie.
All right.
So the real preference.
I'll go neutral.
Okay. Okay, so Maggie is going to do Cassandra. Oh, the mad prophetess Cassandra from Troilus and Cressida.
Let's cry. Let me
Cry,
try.
Trojan, cry.
Okay.
This is one that I think a couple weeks ago when I updated the wheel, added some new ones to give more variety, I put on. And so nobody's done it yet. This will be very interesting to see people do this one.
Okay.
Have you, you know, see.
I think yeah. It looks like, all right, I found it, but it doesn't actually start with that because it looks like there's a lot of other.
Yeah, I seem to remember that she just jumps in.
It's really short.
Yeah, it's not a long one, but it's
okay.
It's short but sweet for sure.
Okay. It's it on the site that I got to, it's actually yellowed out in, where is it? Did I just lose it? Okay. All righty. Sorry about that. It looked like they had tried to collapse it, but it didn't. Sorry.
So okay.
I'm just going to start. She starts with it. There's a few other things the other people say, but I'm just going to leave those out.
Yeah, so. You know, that's good advice for you and for anybody. I mean, you just use your judgment. I mean, if you think that you want to start here, or there's other people's lines which you have to skip over, you know, you could. It's up to you. You know, so people just use your judgment about where the logical place to start would be sometimes.
Okay. All right.
Ready.
Cry, Trojans, cry. Cry, Trojans. Cry, Trojans, cry. Lend me 10,000 eyes, and I will fill them with prophetic tears. Virgins and boys, mid-age and wrinkled elds, soft infancy that nothing canst but cry, add to my clamors. Let us pay betimes a moiety of that mass of moan to come. Cry, Trojans, cry, practice your eyes with tears. Troy must not be, nor goodly Ilion stand. Our firebrand brother Paris burns us all. Cry, Trojans, cry, a Helen and a woe. Cry, cry, Troy burns, or else let Helen go. That's it.
Okay, awesome. So Paul is the only one left, and we're sticking with gender neutral, Paul?
Yes.
Okay. So lastly, before we go on to two-person scenes, which will be easier since we've got an even number of people, it'll be... okay, Desdemona, my noble father. So that's about, it's kind of a long way, about 201 lines in to Act 1, Scene 3. And I believe my noble father is where it starts.
Okay.
You found it?
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, take it away.
My noble father, I do perceive here a divided duty. To you I am bound for life and education. My life and education both do learn me how to respect you. You are the lord of duty. I am hitherto your daughter. But here's my husband, and so much duty as my mother showed to you, preferring you before her father, so much I challenge that I must profess due to the more my lord. That's it.
Okay, great. So everybody's done a monologue at this point. We will now go on with the six of us. We can have three two-person scenes that we'll randomly select. So we're back to all six of us on the wheel. I'll spin twice to see which two people are going to do the first scene. We'll start with Paul and okay, so Paul and Bill are going to start us off, it looks like. And Paul and Bill are going to perform Two Gentlemen of Verona. I think we did. Oh no, this is great. Last week we did the Two Gentlemen, and from this, and this week we're doing the other scene with the two servants of the Two Gentlemen. So Act 3, Scene 1. We'll figure out where we'll start. Again, use your judgment about what the logical place to start is. So Act 3, Scene 1, Launce and Speed, and Paul and I'll take everyone out, but Paul and Bill. I'll make sure you guys.
Okay, you pick Paul.
Okay, have you both found it?
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay, so whenever.
And it's who are the characters again? I'm sorry.
Launce and Speed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot to assign roles. Do either of you have a preference?
I just told Paul, go ahead. You picked Paul.
Well, let's see. I have to. Who speaks first? I wonder. I haven't found it yet. It's Act 3, Scene 1, correct?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Okay, let's see.
It looks like Launce has a soliloquy after Valentine and Proteus leaves, and then Speed comes in.
Okay, enter Speed.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys will go from there.
We can begin there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So whenever you two are ready, take it away.
Did you choose which one you wanted, Paul?
How about I do Speed?
Okay.
How now, Signor Lance? What news with your mastership?
With my master's ship? Why, it is at sea.
Well, your old vice still mistake the word. What news, then, in your paper?
The blackest news that ever thou heardest.
Why, man, how black?
Why, as black as ink.
Let me read them.
Fie on thee, jolt head, thou canst not read?
Thou liest, I can.
I will try thee. Tell me this, who begot thee?
Mary, the son of my grandfather.
Oh, illiterate loiterer, he was the son of thy grandmother. This proves thou canst not read.
Come, fool, come. Try me in thy paper.
There, and St. Nicholas be thy speed.
Primus, she can milk.
Aye, that she can.
Item, she brews good ale.
And therefore comes the proverb, blessing of your heart, you brew good ale.
Item, she can sew.
That's as much as to say, can she sew?
Item, she can knit.
What need a man care for a stock with a wench when she can knit him a stock?
Item, she can wash and scour.
A special virtue, for then she need not be washed and scoured.
Item, she can spin.
Then may I set the world on heels when she can spin for her living.
Item, she hath many nameless virtues.
That's as much as to say bastard virtues. That indeed know not their fathers and therefore have no names.
Here follows her vices.
Close at the heels of her virtues.
Item, she is not to be kissed, fasting in respect of her breath.
Well, that fault may be mended with a breakfast. Read on.
Item, she hath a sweet mouth.
That makes amends for her sour breath.
Item, she doth talk in her sleep.
It's no matter for that, so she sleep not in her talk.
Item, she is slow in words.
Oh, villain that set this down among her vices. To be slow in words is a woman's only virtue. I pray thee, out with it, and place it for her chief virtue.
Item, she is proud.
Out with that too. It was Eve's legacy and cannot be taken from her.
Item, she hath no teeth.
I care not for that neither, because I love crusts.
Item, she is cursed.
Well, the best is, she hath no teeth to bite.
Item, she will often praise her liquor.
If her liquor be good, she shall. If she will not, I will, for good things should be praised.
Item, she is too liberal.
Of her tongue she cannot, for that's writ down she is slow of. Of her purse she shall not, for that I'll keep shut. Now, of another thing she may, and that cannot I help. Well, proceed.
Item, she hath more hair than wit, and more faults than hairs, and more wealth than faults.
Stop there. I'll have her. She was mine, and not mine, twice or thrice in that last article. Rehearse that once more.
Item, she hath more hair than wit.
More hair than wit. It may be. I'll prove it. The cover of the salt hides the salt, and therefore it is more than the salt. The hair that covers the wit is more than the wit, for the greater hides the less. What's
And
next?
more faults than hairs.
That's monstrous. Oh, that were out.
And more wealth than faults.
Why, that word makes the faults gracious. Well, I'll have her. And if it be a match, as nothing is impossible,
What then?
why then I will tell thee that thy master stays for thee at the north gate.
For me?
For thee, aye, who art thou? He hath stayed for a better man than thee.
And must I go to him?
Thou must run to him, for thou hast stayed so long that going will scarce serve the turn.
Why didst not tell me sooner? Pox of your love letters.
Now will he be swinged for reading my letter, an unmannerly slave that will thrust himself into secrets. I'll after to rejoice in the boy's correction.
Excuse me.
You scared Maggie.
Oh, somebody's missing. Oh, there's.
That was fun.
Okay. Awesome. So that was a good one. Okay, back to the wheel. The 4 people remaining. Actually, should have set this up well. Sorry.
Sounds like people have thought women talk too much for a long time.
Yeah. For sure. They've been making those jokes for.
I guess back to the Greeks, probably.
Okay, so the next 2 people that will perform together are Sheila.
Okay.
And Sheila will perform with
It's you.
Okay, so the one male, one female wheel. Okay, so myself and Sheila are going to do.
Oh, how fun.
Ooh.
Oberon and Titania. So let's find
Sure.
out.
Perfect.
This starts what 4:30, something like that.
Let me look. It takes me a little longer since I'm managing the stream and trying to find the stuff. Let's see.
Yes.
Act 2, scene 1. I think that actually look. So it's the. Looks like toward the beginning of the. So Puck, Puck and the fairy are talking, and then let's see.
Enter Oberon on one side.
Yeah, and then so I started with all ill met by moonlight. Proud to that looks like where we begin.
Yes.
Okay, so it's my cue to start. You ready?
Oh yes.
Okay. Ill met by moonlight, proud Titania.
What jealous Oberon! Fairies, skip hence, I have forsworn his bed and company.
Tarry, rash one. Am not I thy lord?
Then I must be thy lady, but I know when thou hast stolen away from fairyland, and in the shape of corn sat all day playing on pipes of corn, and versing love to amorous Phillida. Why art thou here, come from the farthest steppe of India? But that, forsooth, the bouncing Amazon, your buskined mistress, and your warrior love to Theseus must be wedded, and you come to give their bed joy and prosperity.
How canst thou thus for shame, Titania, glance at my credit with Hippolyta, knowing I know thy love to Theseus? Didst thou not lead him through the glimmering night from Perigenia, whom he ravished, and make him with fair Aegle break his faith? With Ariadne and Antiopa?
These are the forgeries of jealousy, and never since the middle summer spring met we on hill in dale, forest or mead, by paved fountain or by rushy brook, or in the beached margent of the sea, to dance our ringlets to the whistling wind, but with thy brawls thou hast disturbed our sport. Therefore, the winds, piping to us in vain, as in revenge, have sucked up from the sea contagious fogs, which, falling in the land, have ever pelting river made so proud that they have overborne their continents. The ox hath therefore stretched his yoke in vain. The plowman lost his sweat, and the green corn hath rotted ere his youth attained a beard. The fold stands empty in the drowned field, and crows are fatted with the murrian flock. The nine men's morass is filled up with mud, and the quaint mazes in the wanton green, for lack of tread, are undistinguishable. The human mortals want their winter here. No night is now with him or carol blessed. Therefore the moon, the governess of floods, pale in her anger, washes all the air, that rheumatic diseases do abound, And thorough this distemperature we see, the seasons alter, hoary-headed frosts far in the fresh lap of the crimson rose, and on old Hyam's thin and icy crown an odorous chaplet of sweet summer buds is as in mockery set. The spring, the summer, the childing autumn, angry winter, change their wonted liveries, and the mazed world by their increase now knows not which is which. And this same progeny of evil comes from our debate, from our dissension. We are their parents and original.
Do you amend it? It lies in you. Why should Titania cross her Oberon? I do but beg a little changeling boy to be my henchman.
Set your heart at rest. The fairyland buys not the child of me. His mother was a votaress of my order, and in the spiced Indian air by night, full often hath she gossiped by my side, and sat with me on Neptune's yellow sands, marking the embarked traders on the flood, when we have laughed to see the sails conceive and grow big-bellied with the wanton wind, which she with pretty and with swimming gait following, her womb then rich with my young squire, would imitate and sail upon the land to fetch me trifles, and return again as from a voyage rich with merchandise. But she, being mortal, of that boy did die. And for her sake do I rear up her boy, and for her sake I will not part with him.
How long within this wood intend you stay?
Perchance till after Theseus' wedding day. If you will patiently dance in our round and see our moonlight revels, go with us. If not, shun me, and I will spare your haunts.
Give me that boy, and I will go with thee.
Not for thy fairy kingdom. Fairies, away! We shall chide downright if I stay longer.
Well, go thy way. Thou shalt not from this grove till I torment thee for this injury. My gentle Puck, come hither. It's a lot. We have Elizabeth. So Elizabeth and Maggie will do our last scene. I've got the two female scenes. I had to really. Here's where I really take suggestions. It's difficult to find a lot of good two female scenes. I don't think we've had two females go together.
Maggie, do you want to try two male scenes?
We can do anything.
Yeah, it's up. Yeah, if either of you wants the gender bend, that's.
Do you want to try this one just to see what's available? Because we got one before, actually, and then if it's the same one, maybe we could. I don't want to take too much time for the wheels, but we'll read anything.
Yes, I don't think we've done this one yet, so I think maybe we should go ahead. We can go ahead and stick with it.
Try it. Okay.
If we start running out of monologues from this, from the two female scene, then we can let you change. But I think since we haven't done this one yet, we should go ahead and
do it.
Both of you stick to female. So we've got for you two to perform is Amelia and Desdemona. Okay. So
go ahead and assign.
Who wants to be
Maggie? Do you have a choice of part?
Not really. It was Act 4, Scene.
Act 4, Scene 3.
So can I be Amelia then,
sure.
if you don't care?
So Elizabeth.
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
Elizabeth is requested. So Elizabeth is going to be Amelia, and that leaves Maggie for Desdemona.
So it probably starts with Exeunt Othello.
I think so. The two of you, I was setting that up, so I didn't have a chance to look at it. I think you can figure.
So Amelia starts with, how goes it now? He looks
That's
gentler
what it
than he
looks like
did.
to me.
Okay, it looks like
That's what it
you
looks like.
Okay.
Whenever
Okay, I'm there
Okay,
too.
great.
you two are ready.
Okay,
Okay.
ready.
All right. How goes it now? He looks gentler than he did.
He says he will return incontinent. He hath commanded me to go to bed and bade me to dismiss you.
Dismiss me?
It was his bidding. Therefore, good Amelia, give me my nightly wearing and adieu. We must not now displease him.
I would you had never seen him.
Well, so would I. So would not my love doth so approve him, that even his stubbornness, his checks, his frowns, prithee, unpin me, have grace and favor in them.
I have laid those sheets you bade me on the bed.
All's one. Good faith, how foolish are our minds. If I do die before thee, prithee, shroud me in one of those same sheets.
Come, you talk.
My mother had a maid called Barbara. She was in love, and he she loved proved mad and did forsake her. She had a song of willow, the old thing 'twas, but it expressed her fortune, and she died singing it. That song tonight will not go from my mind. I have much to do, but to go hang my head all at one side and sing it like poor Barbara. Pray thee, dispatch.
Shall I go fetch your nightgown?
No, unpin me here. This Lodovico is a proper man.
A very handsome man.
Yeah, he speaks well.
I know a lady in Venice would have walked barefoot to Palestine for a touch of his nether lip.
The poor soul sat sighing by a sycamore tree. Sing all a green willow, her hand on her bosom, her head on her knee. Sing willow, willow, willow. The fresh streams ran by her and murmured her moans. Sing willow, willow, willow. Her salt tears fell from her and softened the stones. Lay by these. Sing willow, willow, willow. Pray hie thee, he'll come anon. Sing all a green willow must be my garland. Let nobody blame him. His scorn I approve. Now, that's not the text. Hark, who's that knocks?
It's the wind.
I called my love false love, but what said he then? Sing willow, willow, willow. If I court more woman, you'll couch more men. So get thee gone. Good night. I'd eyes do itch. Dost thou bode weeping?
'Tis neither here nor there.
I have heard it said so. Oh, these men, these men. Dost thou in conscience think, tell me, Amelia, that there be women do abuse their husbands in such gross kind?
There be some such, no question.
Wouldst thou do such a deed for all the world?
Why, would not you?
No, by this heavenly light.
No, I neither by this heavenly light. I might do it as well in the dark.
Wouldst thou do such a deed for all the world?
The world's a huge thing. It is a great price for a small vice.
In troth, I think thou wouldst not.
In troth, I think I should, and undo it when I had done. Marry, I would not do such a thing for a joint ring, nor for measures of lawn, nor for gowns, petticoats, nor caps, nor any petty exhibition. But for the whole world? Why, who would not make her husband a cuckold to make him a monarch? I should venture purgatory for it.
Beshrew me if I would do such a wrong for the whole world.
Why, the wrong is but a wrong in the world, and having the world for your labor, 'tis a wrong in your own world, and you might quickly make it right.
I do not think there is any such woman.
Yes, a dozen, and as many to the vantage as would store the world they played for. But I do think it is their husbands' faults if wives do fall. Say that they slack their duties and pour our treasures into foreign laps, or else break out in peevish jealousies, throwing restraint upon us.
Mm-hmm.
Or say they strike us, or scant our former having in despite. Why, we have galls, and though we have some grace, yet have we some revenge. Let husbands know their wives have sense like them. They see and smell and have their palates, both for sweet and sour, as husbands have. What is it that they do when they change us for others? Is it sport? I think it is. And doth affection breed it? I think it doth. Is it frailty that thus errs? It is so too. And have not we affections, desires for sport, and frailty as men have? Then let them use us well. Else let them know the ills we do, their ills instruct us so.
Good night, good night. Heaven me such uses send, not to pick bad from bad, but by bad mend. Oh my. There's all the explanation, huh?
Nice singing, Maggie. Nicely done.
Well, I didn't realize I just would notice, oh my gosh, she's not singing that line. But not, I didn't do too bad. Yeah.
No, it was great.
You know what's really great about that, us spinning that scene, you know, especially when we were talking a minute ago about how the scene we did just before about how men talk crap about the women.
Yes.
Now we get to see the reverse, and that Shakespeare was good at showing the exact.
He saw it. He saw
women
it.
talking about their husbands behind their back, and so many of the things that we can see how little has changed in 500 years.
It's true. There must be something underneath it.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we had a great. I think it was great. This was one of the best that we've had so far. I think
really fun scenes. Yeah.
Really glad that Sheila, that we had a new participant. You did great.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
hope you come back and be a regular participant. Again, it's every Saturday at the same time. And great. Unless anybody else has any comments, we'll go ahead and wrap this up, and we'll see each other, and we'll all see you. Same time next Saturday. Bye
Okay.
now.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.